Good morning. This is the day I start my bathroom renovation project. I'm putting this three-piece Mirolin shower. This is the bottom piece. The middle section is a U shape. And there's the top. And that's going in my bathroom. It's currently in my living room, awaiting project beginning. The size of this bathroom is a shower. The size of the shower is approximately 33.5 inches, 34 inches, in that range. The size of my bathroom door if I get the tape measure sorted out, 28 inches. It's going to be a project. But I'm thinking, if I did the logistics correctly, the middle section is the problem, and that's going to come down this bathroom hall. It's going to go in here in a horseshoe shape, spin around once these appliances are out, spin around again, and end up in front of the original bathtub. And once it's all assembled, it's going into the unit. Now the bathtub space, this is an old bathtub. The renovation is 50 years old. It's got some leaks. I tried to do some work and I've replaced some parts, but it's time for a renovation. So this shower stall enclosure space, holding this phone in my hand so it's jiggling, is approximately 33 inches. Once I take the drywall off, we'll have a bit more room and we're going to see how it all fits. Anyway, wish me luck. We're going to start ripping down some bathroom drywall and tiles. Good morning. Here I am, starting my project. Got a few tools, and we're going to give it a go, see how it works out. I've never done this before, so I'll let you know. I'll post it when it's done, and you can see if it's something that will work for you and how the struggles I had, and see if I'm successful. Hopefully I am. All right, so I'm having the coffee, and the butter tart's gone. It is now 10:17, so I started at 8:30. Trying to do this with as little damage as possible. For an old guy, I'm turning 78 this year. For an old guy, it's a challenge. Time to press on. So you can see everything is sort of removed. I tried to do it tidy down by the window, so I have less repair. I didn't go right to the ceiling because I went as high as the shower unit requires, and that way I didn't disturb anything else. Plus it was a little bit less work. And same down this side. I have to tidy it up a bit. And my plumbing. Now I have a couple of issues here where it had some water damage. I'm going to have to clean that wood up and take all the drywall screws out. And then the tub can come out after I disconnect all of the plumbing in the basement. Almost finished getting all the tile out, and now I just have to cut a little piece of baseboard here so I can move the last bit of tile, and then with any luck the tub will come out. I have to disconnect the drain down in the basement, have all that ceiling cut open, so I have quite a mess everywhere, but it's actually going okay. So we're going to cut this with this handy little tool, and then I will try to get the tub out. All right, so it's a fiddly job getting this thing out. I have to cut some more drywall here so I can tip it, and then it can just slide out. Sounds easy? Now I'm tidying up this alcove. I'm going to have to actually build up the floor of it. There's a 1.75 inch gap between the tile and the floor. So I have to build that up a bit and see what else. making progress. Everything's out basically. Now I have to start planning on putting the new shower back. Right, so it's Friday morning, 8 a.m. and this is the base of this shower, sitting sideways in the bathroom. And it's going to go into that enclosure somehow. Could take a little bit of a saw to get rid of this, who knows? But we're going to work on that. First thing I have to do though is clean this floor up and the stud area, and have to level this floor because the tile is higher than the actual subfloor, and I'm going to put another base down there to raise it enough so that the shower will sit flush on the tile and on the subfloor. So I don't know if it's necessary or not, but I made a support base that's just shy of the distance for the little feet to the floor. You can see them on the bottom there, and I put a straight edge across the feet to see how high it was to this lip where my hand is, and that was about 1 5/8 inches. So I made a little platform at 1.5, just in case there's a bit of flexing in this bottom of this tub when you stand in it. Not supposed to be, but that's what I thought I should do, and so I did it anyway. I have the base of the shower in as a test to see how things fit. I'm actually going to, unfortunately, have to adjust the floor under my drain a little bit because it doesn't quite fit exactly, but it's tight against the studs. It's actually going to be against this wall. Once I get it in and get it straightened out, it'll all fit fine. I have to put some 2x4s or some type of stud work back here to fix this up. But it's all looking pretty good. I put a subfloor underneath the shower to raise it to be equal to this ceramic. So it sits pretty good right now. It's all flush, and it's all solid. All right, it's 4:30 Friday. We're ready to do the big installation, assembly and installation. Everything is sort of prepped. So we're going to lie this thing down. We've got to move these appliances, and hopefully everything fits. All right, the shower unit is in the space. It has to have some work to set it all up and to finish it. Perfect. But it is in the space. I've got the shower all trimmed out and attached to the 2x4 studs. This end is finished. Then I've cut the hole for my taps. I still have to do the hole for the shower, I'll be up above. And then I have to attach all the taps and do the plumbing. Plumbing roughed in from the back. So we're getting ready to start, and it's looking good. Let's have a look at from the front. So this is the basement, and I've got my plumbing in, with a trap. And you can see up there, yep, there's the bottom of the tub. Plumbing comes down. And I think we're all good. Was awkward, because you can see it's right at the floor joist. So it was a very awkward install. All right, now I'm trying to start filling in the drywall and trimming this shower out around the edges. I have to put some trim around the end because it sticks out actually in this alcove about an inch and a quarter. So a little bit of work to trim that out, but shouldn't be too hard. And then down the side, once I can trim all that out. So I'm going to install the actual doors today. we're going to see how that goes. I find this the most stressful part because if I start drilling holes in my shower and they're incorrect, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I have another issue. They gave me this dam which fits on the wall to cover where these bumps are from the assembly part of the 3-part shower, and it doesn't line up exactly. But the question I have is there's actually, when you cut it apart, it's all full of holes all the way down. So I don't know if water will get in there or not, especially from the top, because there's no cover for this. So I've actually made my own cover out of the excess pieces that I cut out of the dam to go around the assembly bumps. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I don't want water to go down inside these hollow tubes in case it gets all gungy and messed up, and then I have a real problem I have to fix. So that's what I've done. I don't know if it's right or wrong. There were no instructions for that. Mirolin's showers book has very good instructions if you have a tile shower, but I find it kind of lacking if you have an acrylic shower like this one, in terms of where do things get located, how do they work, what measurements do we use. There's no actual information that helps you do that. I worked on their website, and they have diagrams and stuff, but it's sort of limited. So I think it's trial and error, and you're figuring this out as you go. So wish me luck. So you can see I have the dam on the bottom laid out. I use a lot of masking tape. It says tape it in position so it doesn't move, but instead of drawing pencil lines, I often put a piece of masking tape as a guide. And that way, if it's an error or anything, I don't have marks all over my shower that I have to deal with. So I have some vertical stuff. I have the top of the shower laid out. So now I'm going to install the doors. So I'm assembling this Mirolin shower door. Some of their assembly instructions are very unclear, and I like to visually see what I have. So this is some of the parts of the door and how it's going to hang. This piece here is an offcut. I cut the top rail so that it would fit the shower, and this piece is left over. So I'm going to lay this out and get a feel for how this is going to work. This is the bottom guide. So this is technically going to fit like this. And line up with the bottom guide. So the doors will go in here. So I want to know where to drill these holes. So if I was to take this apart, like this, technically this lines up in the center of this guide. They don't specifically tell you that, even though they do have instructions with measurements on their website, but they don't say this is how to line it up. So I think it's not quite focused for you to see in this picture. There we go. That might be a bit better. So then this is the bracket that attaches to the wall. That will fit in here. So theoretically then, once this is lined up in the center, the holes will line up in the center of the bottom guide. And on the dam on the bottom, this comes down here and across the bottom, and this sits on top of it. So once the dam is in place, and you put this in its location on the dam, you can measure where the center is against the wall, measure up to the right height, all the way up, and then you know that this is where the 2 screws will fit right into your wall and hold it in place. So the screw holes will line up with the center of the bottom guide. This will fit in here. And then once this is together, the bottom rail will fit in here, the bottom for the back door. And it will line up with this. My hands are jiggling it so it's not even.
And the top one will fit on here and line up with this one. So that's technically how it's going to work. This has to swing on. So in actual fact, I think what's going to happen is the back door will fit in place. Kind of wobbly, but you get the idea. The black door will fit in place. I'll have to put the bottom door in and then attach it because it cannot swing. Hook this on here and swing in, and the door cannot swing into the spot. So the door must be in there, and then we'll put the guide on and attach the door to the guide. So that's sort of it. It's kind of wiggly and all the rest of it, but these are your components, and that's the idea of how it's theoretically supposed to work. So I like to get a feel for that visual concept so that I know, because they don't really give you a measurement. Measuring this so far from the wall and measuring this, that, and the other. They don't really tell you in their website. And since mine's going into the shower, it's like an afterthought. They have pages on how to install a glass wall and all the rest of it. But on mine it says, oh yeah, just put this dam on the sides because it's got to cover the bumps. But it doesn't really explain how the whole thing's going to work. So in my mind, I'm feeling more comfortable with this concept now, and we're going to try it out and see.
Hello. All right, we have one door on. This is pretty exciting. The most exciting thing about it is the fact that it actually fits correctly. Okay. The guide will be in the middle when I get it attached. I think it's fairly vertical. There's the top rail. I found this whole door installation part very stressful because you never know if you get the right distance in for everything. So I set this guide originally over on this corner, and then I put a level and a plumb bob up to find where the screw holes were going. On a previous video I showed you where the screws go right in the middle of this guide, right down here. And then I moved it to this end and I ran up a level and a plumb bob, and I put this one on. And in actual fact, I will tell you that they said 73 inches was the height, and it worked. So I have to say they did a good job, and I'm pretty happy with the way the shower is going at the moment. Still got one more door to go. It's fiddly putting them on actually, but we'll see how that goes. And then I have to put the dam on here. They always show doing that stuff first, but I think that by doing it second, you can actually shim things, and it's not stuck in the way. You can move it and adjust it if you have to adjust anything. It just makes life easier, so I did it second. Anyway, here's my track. I'm going to attach my guide for my floor guide right now, and then go to the next door. All right, I haven't unpacked all of the corner protectors and stuff up here, but the two doors are on, and they both roll pretty smoothly. That's that one, and that's this one. So we're pretty happy. This has been a very stressful install, this door, because I was not happy with their instructions, even though in the long run the dimensions all worked, but the procedure of how to do it was not very clear for this type of shower. If you had a tiled shower, there were lots of instructions, but for this type of shower, not very clear. Anyway, now we're going to proceed to finish off the job. All right, so I've got my doors on, and I have my seals on here. So theoretically, everything is done.